Just making sure it's starting. All right. Hey, y'all. Hey, this is Mr. Willis, and welcome to the No Shoes Podcast, where nothing is dressed up, just real talk. Tonight's conversation is about life, survival, and the power of organ donation. And I'm sorry, y'all, it's got echo. And the power of organ donation. With April being Donate Life Month, this conversation is even more important. And we're talking about a journey that began at a young age and everything that came after surgeries, dialysis, and ultimately a transplant. This is more than a story. This is a testimony of strength, faith, and resilience. So I want you all to help me and welcome me, Miss Desiree and her mom, Tammy, who is my friend and my soror. Welcome, ladies, and thank you for to my
Hi.
platform to tell your story.
Yes, ma'am. No problem at all. No problem.
All right. So before we get started, I'd like to ask my guests to name me one thing that you're thankful for today. So Desi, we'll start with you.
My life, just being here, my family.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm definitely thankful for the same, for life, for my family, my friends. I'm definitely thankful. My circle is real.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ladies. And I have to agree with y'all. I'm thankful for life, health, and strength. Another day to get it right. So that's always something to be thankful for.
Hmm.
And with that being said, we are going to go ahead and start. And as I always tell my viewers, y'all are going to see me looking over here because I have to take notes because we have brain fog and we forget. So I have to write stuff down.
Yeah.
So we're going to start this off with the beginning of your journey. So this first question, Desiree, can you take us back to when you were first told that you were going to have a kidney transplant?
Um, when I first got diagnosed, I think I was 20, right, Mom?
Nope, 16.
16?
Yeah,
Okay.
16.
Um, it was scary, but at that time, I could still go to work and do my normal activities. So I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm I'm hurt, but yeah, it was scary to hear that both of my kidneys are failing.
Did you feel like for you, did you feel like you weren't going to be able to do the things that you wanted to do as a young lady?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about you, mom? How did you feel knowing your daughter was about to have to go through something so life changing?
It that moment it just didn't feel real when we were in the doctor's office and they told us about it. It just didn't feel real. You hear the words, but my mind was trying to catch up and just trying to understand it all. All I could really think about was like, not my child. No, not my child. And it seemed like everything just kind of slowed down. And at the same time, everything changed instantly because it was time to go. Go, go, go. We got something to do.
And you work in healthcare, Tammy. So did you, once she got the diagnosis, did you understand about kidney disease at the time, or you had to go and do your own research and learn about what she was about to go through?
I definitely had to do my own research. Desiree was diagnosed with a rare kidney disease, and it's called FSGS. Those are the initials, and it stands for focal segmental glomerulus sclerosis. So I just call it FSGS, as that's what it's called. And um I didn't know anything about it. All I knew was that it was, I found out that it was a rare kidney disease that she had come upon. And I knew at that point that I had to do something. I had to do what I had to do. And as a mother, I stepped in and I had to find the best of the best for Desiree. Desiree has complex medical conditions. So, along with the kidney diagnosis came, she also has epilepsy and also is autistic. So, we have a couple different diagnoses there. And considering the fact that it was a rare condition, I couldn't just accept the first doctor. I had to do some research and we did some traveling. And I found one of the best doctors to manage her care at the Mayo Clinic in Florida.
So were there limited doctors? I know Fayetteville is pretty big, because of Fort Bragg and the surrounding areas, and Raleigh's not too far up the road. But were for what you were looking for, were there not any doctors that were good enough for you as a mother to take her to there?
No, not at all. Nothing in the Fayetteville area, nothing even in the Chapel Hill area. Nothing
Really?
even there. No, ma'am. Not even there. So after doing my research, like I said, we really had to do some travel. And the best of the best that was able to handle all conditions was the Mayo Clinic in Florida.
And that's interesting too, because Chapel Hill and even Duke University, they're supposed to be really good medical centers. So that's very surprising. But you got to go. Sometimes you got to travel to get good healthcare. Sometimes that's just what it is.
Yes. Yes.
So let's talk about how you were able to navigate your journey. So, Desiree, what kept you going during the toughest moments of this? Because I know your mom kept in touch with me, and I even seen some of the things you would go through. I know I wouldn't have been able to go through, so I tipped my hats off to you. So, for you, what was that like for you?
Well, my toughest moments that kept me going was my mom, of course, being by my side, my family calling me every day, the ones that couldn't come up to Fayetteville or Florida to see me, and just texting me, calling me every day, and telling me to stay strong. And God got me. My grandma up in heaven, she got me. Just my family and mom being by my side.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause she sure was. She ride die for her Desi. That is
Mhm.
for
That's right.
sure.
That's
what,
right.
what about you, Timmy? I know some of the conversations we had, it was hard for you to see her go through that. So, what was the toughest for you?
Which part? What part do you mean? What was the toughest part? What do you mean?
Just going through that journey, y'all, being in Jacksonville and seeing her, once she got the kidney and the after going through all of that and seeing her go through that.
Very tough. Very tough to see her go through everything that she had to go through in order to even get to that point. Because before we got to that point of even getting the kidney, Desiree suffered tremendously from, having to deal with dialysis 3 times a week and having to have major surgeries in order to even have the dialysis because her body wasn't responding to the access points that they wanted to put on her fistula, where normally people have dialysis going through their arm. Desiree had to have surgery twice in order to have that access. And both times the accesses failed. So it was two surgeries that she underwent, and they couldn't. The veins collapsed where they wanted to do the dialysis. It collapsed. So then she had to have a third surgery where they put a port in her chest And at that point, that was a major surgery as well because it was coming straight from her heart, that chest port. And then they were finally able to do dialysis and stuff through the chest. So she suffered for a very long time, not being able to even do dialysis, um, because they couldn't find the access.
Right.
Finally, after finding that access, she was able to do dialysis, and that relieved her body some, because getting those toxins and stuff out of her body, it relieved her some. Um, and I'm sorry, I'm getting all choked up.
Okay. It's
Don't cry,
okay.
Mom. Don't cry. Here, I'm making you cry. Mom, don't do it.
Listen, this is a judgment-free zone. If y'all need to cry, cry, because I'm gonna be right here crying with you. It's okay. It's okay.
It was just tough seeing her go through that. I mean, of course, on the opposite side of it was a blessing of actually getting it, but the what we went through to get it done was very significant. Like we traveled state to state, and what people don't realize is that even to get on a kidney transplant list, you have to have a person that is willing to do the travel with you, that is willing to go to the appointments with you. You have to have a caregiver that is designated that will do these long appointments with you, that'll travel with you, that'll be there with you before the transplant, after the transplant. And if you do not have a care person, a support person, then you're not able to even be listed on the list. So, and I was there for Desiree, and not only as her mother, like I had to be there. Somebody had to do it. So, and where you have to be there, where I had to be there all the time, required me to have to take off time off of work, take away from time from my other children and stuff like that and other responsibilities. So there's a lot that comes with getting the transplant and going through everything, going through the motions to finally get to transplant. There's a lot that goes into it. And Desiree waited a couple of years. And through those years, we had to go to appointments out of town, um, get hotels and stay there and to complete everything that they required. And I had her listed at 6 different hospitals. So you can just imagine what we went through with the travel and everything like that. And I'm not suggesting that every person that's looking for a kidney, get listed at with 6 different clinics. That's not what I'm suggesting at all. But you stand a better chance of getting a kidney if you sign up with different lists, other than just depending on one hospital.
And speaking of the dialysis, I know for me, my uncle had diabetes for years, and he ended up losing function in both his kidneys, so he had to do dialysis, and it really messed his arm up. It looked like somebody
Yeah.
had took nails and just scratched his left
Yeah.
arm. And I think a lot of times people correlate the two to that will correlate dialysis to diabetes.
Hmm.
So did she have diabetes or she just had kidney diseases? I think when people hear dialysis, the first thing they think about is diabetes.
No, no, not diagnosed with diabetes at all, which was great. Thankful for that. But we didn't have to go down that journey of diabetes at all. Mm-mm. No.
And can you, with you being in healthcare, I think it's important for people to understand. Can you briefly explain to the viewers what dialysis is and why it's needed?
Dialysis is when your body, when they hook you up to a machine and your body flushes all of the toxins out of your body that accumulate because your kidneys cannot filter themselves. So the dialysis filters the kidneys and filters everything in and out. And it's a process where they push the water in and it comes right back out, or and cleans the kidneys out. And that has to be done 3 times a week. And if it's not done 3 times a week, then you run the risk of having infections, and you run the risk of those toxins getting in your body and getting severely ill. And while you're doing dialysis, your body is going through so much that sometimes people end up in a situation where they have trouble breathing, they pass out, their blood pressure drops. Thankfully, we never had any issues with Desiree while she was doing dialysis, thankfully. But with me being in healthcare, I have seen several people come through the hospital from dialysis where they are altered mental status, where they are having trouble breathing, they're in respiratory distress. So a lot of things can happen when you're on dialysis, and a lot happens with your body. It's really tough on the body to go through dialysis. And to do that 3 times a week, at least 6 to 7 hours of your day. And then after that, Desiree was extremely tired. Desiree, weren't you tired?
Tired, exhausted. I just wanted to come home and get in the bed and just lay there.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
uncle was the same way. It was sad to see because it's like it severely fatigues you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
severely.
So
And
I have to get my hats
that's
off to
no way. That's no way of life for anybody. That's no way of life.
That's
No.
not. And I just want to read a comment here from Montreal 8460. Hello, everyone. A brave young lady had a fight on her hand, but she made it. Praise God. And I agree.
Okay.
I
Thank
talk
you.
to your, I talk to your mom at least once a week, and she send me pictures of how you doing. I tell you, my niece a hug for me. She don't know she got another auntie, but give her a big hug for me.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
hmm
So let's talk about the transplant moment because when your mom told us, everybody was cheering that you had found it because it came quick. Because I remember when you put it out,
Yeah.
it was about a month after you put it out. Wanted to tell me about a month
For what?
or when you remember when you had put out about her needing a kidney, and then y'all had found it was
Oh.
about a month's time on it. About
No, 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 no. When I put it out to the sorority, I want to say it was about 3 months because I started sharing more so when she started doing dialysis, and so that was like a 3 month journey, a short journey with dialysis, which was unheard of. But she was a miracle child,
mm-hmm.
so um, but yeah, so it was about 3 months between the time that I put it out and the time that that call actually came. And so
Yeah,
when that call came, Desiree, you want to talk about it?
Okay. Well, at that time, of course, I was sleeping. My mom ran upstairs at 3 o'clock in the morning. Baby girl, get up. You got a kidney. We got to go to Florida. So I hopped up and did get nothing. Not a toothbrush, not no underwear, nothing. Just ran with my mama. We got in the car and we went to Florida. Man, wow.
yeah. I know you were excited because she was. I know you were.
I was.
Right.
Best,
Excited,
best
nervous,
Christmas ever.
everything.
Best
So,
Christmas ever.
so I know like when you're waiting on an organ, whether it be a kidney or heart, a lot of times it's coming from someone that may have passed or they had, it's normally those types of situations. So, and they'll allow you to meet at some point to meet the person who donated that organ or their family.
Mhm.
So, can you tell us, if you're comfortable, can you tell us a little bit about that part of the process?
Des, you want to go or you want
Um,
me to go?
Me? Um, well, we had to wait a year for that process after I get my after I got my kidney, we had to wait a year to contact or do anything with the donation family. And sometimes they want to stay anonymous, and sometimes they'll write back. But that's all I know. Mom, take over.
Yeah, that's just about right. So Desiree's kidney, we do know a little bit about the donor. We know that it was a child. We know that it was a child. Um, and we know that that child did not have any um colds or anything like that through their short life. And that they passed away from some kind of a head trauma. We do know that. And that little bit is told to us just as they're describing the kind of kidney that Desiree was going to get that day. Um, but knowing who it is, like Desiree said, they're anonymous. We don't know who they are. Um, and Desiree wrote her letter to her donor, because what happens is we write the letter and then we have to submit the letter to the social work department, and the social work department will then forward the letter to the donor. The donor has the option to then write back to us with the same method as sending the letter back to social work, and social work will talk to us. Well, we haven't heard anything back, but you know, maybe one day we'll hear something back from them.
Yeah.
um but they're still grieving, they're
Right.
definitely grieving.
Right.
That's why we had to wait a year. We had to wait a year, because of their loss. Like, they had just had that loss and that kidney came.
Right.
So we had to wait a year. And we haven't heard anything back yet. But
I'm sure once they're able to, have the conversation, they'll write back. I know that's got to be hard to lose a child
yeah,
like that.
definitely,
So,
definitely.
you know,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I'm sure y'all are thankful that
Hmm.
his or her family were gracious enough to be a organ donor to provide that kidney for Desi.
Hmm. That just taking you back to the moment that we got that call. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and the call came, and that's how it usually comes, like overnight. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, the call came, and it was so surreal. And I could remember vividly saying, "You got a kidney, and it's O positive." And then they also, at the time, also, you can be a first call, you could be a second call, because they have people that come as backup just in case the first person didn't qualify. So I asked them, I said, "Am I the first call or am I the second call?" She said, "You're call number one." And I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, we this is it right here," because if I was call number two, we would have probably just went down there and then had to turn around and come back, because maybe the first person did check out and qualify.
Right.
So we were call number one, and I woke Desiree up. And just like she said, I mean, I don't know if I even packed anything. I don't recall packing really. All I knew was that I had to get to Florida. And we drove, and it was a 6-hour drive. And luckily for my family, after we got situated, my family did come down and bring us some clothes and stuff like that. But I can recall being there and not having anything. But we, yeah, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's what happened. December 11th, which was right before Christmas. And Desiree has always said that's the best Christmas present that she's ever had.
Hey, yeah, that's TJ's birthday. That's my son's birthday.
Mm.
Nice, nice. We'll never
Yeah.
forget that day. Hmm.
No, no, I know. Look, ain't nobody thinking about packing nothing when you got to get up and go.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
especially for something like
Yeah.
that. And
Hmm.
there is a question asking were there any complications?
Yeah, absolutely. Desiree, you want to talk about them or you want me to talk about them?
Um, there, yeah. The first complication was the blood clots in my legs, and my ankles got swollen. Mm, that's all I remember.
Yeah, because of Desiree having epilepsy, a lot of things are kind of foggy because there have been a seizure or two up in since the transplant.
Hmm.
But we were in Florida. We had to stay in Florida. Originally, we thought we were going to be in Florida for 4 weeks. It was supposed to be a 4 week stint in order for her to get her transplant. We ended up staying in Florida for 3 months due to complications. So the initial complication, like she said, and it had nothing to do with her not getting up and walking or anything like that, but she had a lot of swelling. And where they clamped off her blood vessels in order to do the surgery caused clotting in her blood where they clamped it off. And it caused the blood vessels to narrow, which didn't allow blood to flow through. So, thus causing a blood clot for Desiree. And the blood clot was right in the cavity of the kidney. So, it was actually threatening the kidney transplant because this was about 2 days after. I'm sorry, maybe about a week after transplant. So about a week after transplant, she started swelling up. And then I took her back to the doctor, and then they determined did some CAT scans, CT scans, and stuff like that. Determined that she had blood clot, and determined that it was major because it was right in the cavity of the kidney, and they had to get her to surgery ASAP. So she rushed off to surgery in order to get the blood clots broken up, and she had to go through two surgeries in order to do that. So she went through the first surgery where they put a stent in her legs and tried to break the clot up, and then a second surgery where they went in meticulously and actually took the clots out one by one after they were broken up. So her surgery was about maybe 5 to 6 hours while they went in and took the clots out clot by clot, because after they had broken up, they were able to take it out. So yes to your question, definitely a lot of complication. And again, we're talking about somebody that has seizures and somebody that is also autistic, trying to understand everything that was going on, and then to also try not to have a seizure during all this time. It was definitely a lot to manage.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot to manage. But I really do feel like we were in the best place. We were at the Jacksonville clinic in I'm sorry, in at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida. And I feel like they were they had a really good team managing Desiree. Um so while the complications were there, they were able to manage them. They jumped on them really quick and took care of them. And we ended up staying there another 3 months. But when she left from there, her kidneys were functioning as if she had two I'm sorry, her blood work showed as if she had two functioning kidneys. And she hadn't had any seizures, and she was able to understand everything because they understood her neurological disorders as well, and they were breaking everything down for her. They were literally breaking everything down for her. They weren't talking above her head. They weren't doing anything. They were literally talking to her and making sure that she understood every single thing that was going on. And I appreciated that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
You okay, Desi?
Okay, just happy to.
Yeah. You've been through a lot, but you just if I know your mama, I know you a warrior like her. I call her Pitbull, so I'm gonna start calling you Baby Pitbull. Start calling you because you know the good thing is you did what you need to do. God was there with you, but you did the work too.
Mm.
So we all tip our hats off to you and to your mom because you have a very strong mama. You
Thank
do.
you.
I do.
You really do.
Thank you.
As far as life after the transplant for you, Desi, how
Mm.
do you feel your life has changed since all of this happened?
Um, since everything has happened, my my life is better. I can do my activities. I can hang out with my brother and sister. I can hang out with my family, hang out with my mom. I can wake up and brush my teeth without calling my mom, Mom, I fainted again, or Mom, I just don't feel like doing anything. It's amazing just to wake up and just go. If I want to go, just go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what people don't realize is, let's let me chime in there. People don't realize that, the transplant, while it's ever so great and we appreciate it, and she's, living her best life right now,
Mhm.
Desiree's transplant, and people don't realize transplant is not a cure.
Right.
It's a second chance at life.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
that's what she got, was a second chance at life. And we're so grateful for it. There's still medications, there's still risks that we have to manage, and there's still lifelong care for Desiree, with appointments and, making sure that she takes her medication on time and stuff like that. She has to take that medication. So, you know, there's still things that we must do, but it's definitely a second chance. It's not a cure, it's a second chance at life. And she's
Right.
living it. She's living her best life. She is.
Yes.
She is. I'm so proud of her.
Yes. She's an amazing. Look at her. She's so pretty too. I been telling your mom about that though. So with it being National Donate Life Month matters, and you have a lot of people when you go get your driver's license. There's the part if you want to be an organ donor, and
Mhm.
you have some people that are scared to do organ donation. What do you say to those people, that are skeptical? Not so much that, they don't want to, but they just want to make sure that it's,
Mhm.
going to the right places. You do have some black market organ donations as well. So I just want to make sure. So
Hmm.
what would you say to someone who's skeptical about, checking that yes box on their license to
Mhm.
organ donate?
I would just tell them that checking that box, you can save over, I think I want to say studies show 8 to 10 lives by checking that box. You can save yourself. You, one person, can save 8 to 10 lives by just checking that box.
Mhm.
And if you know, if you want to, help save people, then check the box. A lot of people are afraid to check the box because they think for some reason that because they're an organ donor that doctors will not save them, and
Right.
that's the furthest from the truth. Doctors are going to save you first. However, if you are an organ donor, then what happens is they preserve your life, preserve you for hours so that the organ can be taken and transplanted into somebody else. So it's not something that they have to worry about thinking that they're not going to be safe. So what happens is it's after they're deceased that they will connect them to the machines and try to keep them alive in order to keep the organs healthy, so that it can be transplanted into somebody else.
Okay.
So I would tell them to not have any fear, that and without having that fear comes saving 8 to 10 other people, and you
Right.
will live on through those people.
Right. Right. And you answered my question about. I was going to ask you about the myths, and any misconceptions
Yeah,
that people have. So you answered that, and I appreciate that.
yeah.
There was a question from our Juicy. She asks, how often does he have to go back to Jacksonville for checkups?
Right now it's once a year. Prior to her 2 year, because we're in 2026, she had this in December of 2024. So we're just going into our second year. It was 2 times, I'm sorry, it was three times we had to check in, and now it's down to one time. So just one time a year right now. However, that's just with Jacksonville. She has local doctors that will take care of her. I trust the doctors here locally to manage her care under Mayo Clinic, where if anything goes wrong, Mayo Clinic is first to know about it and first to treat it. But she does have local doctors that she has to go to every 3 months, and where they just manage the blood work. They do blood work and refill medications. That's all they do. If anything goes wrong, has to go back to the Mayo Clinic. And if that's by airlift, drive, whatever the extent of whatever is going on, they'll get her to the Mayo Clinic, because Mayo Clinic is who says that they will have to do any kind of surgeries or anything on Desiree.
Right.
So nobody else is allowed to do anything else on her.
Okay. And there was a question from my sister, my adopted sister, your sister Angela, down there. She wanted to know if Desi can drink ginger ale.
Can she
Yes.
drink ginger ale?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sister. She's so stupid. Yes, sister. She can drink
Drinking
ginger
well.
ale. Yes, ma'am. There was a question though about being able to have ginger ale
Mm-hmm.
because of the ginger that's actually in it. And
Mm-hmm.
so we had to actually ask several doctors and even a nutritionist
Mm-hmm.
about the ginger ale because the ginger in it. But according to the doctors and stuff, there's not enough ginger in there that's going to affect the kidney or the kidney transplant, and they told her with no uncertain terms to go ahead and enjoy a ginger ale.
So is there,
So,
is there an issue with, because I know ginger in itself is strong.
yeah.
So is there, just for the viewers, is there an issue when you go through this that you can't? Is there a reason why you can't have ginger?
Specifically ginger is it I don't know exactly why the ginger. I know that it can threaten the kidney. Whatever is in ginger, it can threaten the kidney. So there are certain things that Desiree is not allowed to have, and certain things that her diet had to change because of the medications and stuff. But ginger ale was one of the things, because Desiree loved her a good ginger ale, that we had to deep dive into that hole and find out. Listen, can we have a ginger ale over here? Because that girl want her ginger ale.
Well,
And
I know what
so
to get her for her birthday. Then I get you a ginger
get her a pack of ginger ale and she gonna be fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
ale. So I know your mom. She's close with all her children.
Mm-hmm.
But I know with you going through this, it just made that mother and daughter bond tighter with you all. So, can the two of you talk about how this journey impacted your relationship with each other?
I think it made our me. I think it made our relationship closer and tighter,
Hmm.
and I could just
Yeah.
I could tell my mom anything. Like I I got questions out days. I just call my mom about anything. Mom, I don't know how to do this. Explain. Mom,
Yeah.
mom, mom. Yeah.
Yeah, we were already close. Me and Desiree, that was my firstborn, and she's had these concerns, ever since birth. So she's had medical concerns ever since she was born. So that's been my baby. That's been my precious jewel. So, but this created a bond that made us much, much stronger, and created a bond that just cannot be broken, because we went through this together,
Right.
and we were there, and it was just us side by side. And I'm like, I got you, baby. I got you. If don't nobody else got you, I got you,
Right.
So, yes.
Right. That's
Hmm.
right. So for the two of you, and I'll start with you, Desi, since this is your journey. What does strength look like to you now after going through all of this?
Just, it can happen. It can
Yeah.
happen, and just believe in yourself. And if you are going through anything, just stay strong and believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And
And
just stay strong.
yeah.
Hmm.
And strength just looks like, showing up, even when you're tired, still showing up, even when you're scared or unsure or anything, you still just show up. Strength is just continuing anyway, just doing
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And your mom know what she's gonna know when I say this. We got some jellies in the room, Miss Jackson down there, because they said that we the sorority have adopted you have probably now 30 something more aunties now.
Uh-oh.
They
Yeah.
jealous that adopted you, so you got all these aunties now. So you
Okay.
you might get 40 something six packs of ginger ale for Christmas. So now we come to the really real segment of this interview. So, what is one truth about organ donation that people need to hear?
I'd say it turns tragedy into life. It turns tragedy into life. Seriously. Because I understand something happens to one, but again, you can save 8 other people on the other side.
I agree.
That's right. And just so that people understand, Tim, when you said eight other lives, and I'm asking too, so I understand when you said eight other lives, when somebody passes, that's when their organs get donated. So you're talking about like, heart, kidneys, lungs, that thing, those things.
Eyes,
Mhm.
pancreas, liver. Absolutely. Yes, madam.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Miss Desi? What does strength look like to you now?
Um, strength is just being there. It's life. It's just, yeah. I I can't explain it, but it's it's there.
Yeah. And see, now I hope that this doesn't become the only platform for you to tell your story because you're a living testimony. And I sent your mom, I was watching a video yesterday that just so happened to pop up on my timeline. This man's in the hospital. Now he's waiting on a kidney. And I sent him the link for this so he could watch it because I
Mm-hmm.
think it's important. One of the other sororities that we're tied to, their lupus sorority, one of their members just went through it up in Chicago a few months back.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
hope he's watching. But my uncle passed away before he was able to get a kidney, but he had been on the donor list for years, and he just wasn't able to get one. Unfortunately, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were, and that you're still young, so you're able to live a normal life now that you have that kidney. And I hope that one day we're gonna be great aunties because you got a good example there in your mama. And I know you're gonna be a good mama too. So we be some great
Thank
aunties.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes. Great auntie.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank the both of you again for sharing Desi's story and for choosing our platform to tell that story. It meant a lot. for y'all to choose my platform to
Thank
tell that
you.
story. And I hope that, like I said, that it doesn't stop here, because you don't know how many lives you can touch, because there's probably somebody now that's on that list, and they're ready to give up because they don't think it's going to happen for them.
Mhm.
But it
And
will. It
yeah,
will.
Yeah,
yeah,
well.
It definitely will.
yes. And this wasn't a journey. Like I said at the beginning, this was a fight for life, and you fought the good fight and you won.
Yeah,
So
she did.
I tip my hats off to you for your strength and your courage, Desi. And I tip my hats off to you, sis, for being that
Thank
mom
you.
and being there to lift her up when she really needed you.
Thank you so much, sis. Thank
And
you.
I know it was hard. And can you share, Tammy? Because when my step grandson, when he was born, he had a heart problem, and like a year after, he had to get on a heart list. But he was like under 2 years old, so they
Mm,
had the Ronald McDonald House there for his mom to stay in because she was traveling back and forth. And I remember talking to you, actually, did they have something like that? You said that they didn't have anything
mhm,
like that
mhm, mhm.
for you all being in Jacksonville. So I'm sure there were a lot of costs involved with hotel stays, traveling back and forth, gas and things like that. So can you speak to the viewers a little bit about that part of the journey?
Man, yeah, definitely. So having a kidney transplant or any kind of transplant, you have to have some kind of somewhere to first, like I said, you have to have the support person with you at all times for your appointments, for your travel, for everything. So you and that support person, now once that transplant happens, has got to find somewhere to stay. And depending on whatever city and state you're in, there may or may not be somewhere that hospital may be connected with that will have some kind of a affordable housing for you to stay in. So and luckily in Jacksonville, there was a house, Gabriel's House of Care, where we were able to stay, and it was attached to the Mayo Clinic. So we were able to stay there. However, that's not available in every city and state because, again, it's not even available here in North Carolina, which is why I'm really glad that Duke didn't call for the transplant. I'm glad that UNC Hospital didn't call because otherwise we would have literally been in a hotel for those 3 months, and that cost is astronomical because hotel costs can run anywhere from $200 to $350 a night, and you have to be there for at least 4 weeks. You have to stay in that area for at least 4 weeks, especially if you're out of town. If you happen to find a facility within your same town that will allow you to go home and come back, that's great, but it's very rare. It's very rare. A lot of people travel for their transplant. And once you travel for that transplant, the transplant team wants you to stay on site somewhere nearby. And so you'll end up in a hotel. And that's not the best living conditions for you, the hotel atmosphere, because the air is just not as clean. There's diseases in the air. There's these stuff, and then you risk getting an infection and stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm really glad that you brought that up because it allows me to branch off and let you know that that is what Desiree is going to be doing with her life. She has decided that she wants to do a nonprofit, and it's going to be called Dupa's House of Care, and it's going to be for the people getting transplants here in North Carolina because, like I told you, North Carolina doesn't have a transitional home. So Dupa's House of Care was actually coming out of this transplant as well as a success story for her. Dupa's House of Care is going to be coming out in 2028, and it's going to be in between Duke and UNC. And it's going to be transitional homes for people that have had transplants, and the housing is going to be affordable for them. The cost is going to be affordable for them, and what she has in store for that transitional house is just astronomical. Like, she's coming up with all these different plans and stuff as to what she wants in the house and everything. So, yeah, 2028 it's on Dupa's House of Care. That's what came out of this as well as a part of her journey is her nonprofit.
Well, I hope that one of the things that's gonna be in there, Desi, is some ginger ale for the kids. But that's awesome. And let me know when y'all, you know, start it so I can have you back on the show to talk about that, because I think it's important, especially if they're going to be in the North Carolina area. They got to travel there if they're already there,
Right.
because that makes a difference. And the last thing that you need to be worried about, especially
Is
going through something like that, is cost for everything: food,
right.
travel, where you gonna stay.
Right.
That's the last thing you need to be worried about.
Right,
Really.
the last thing. And that Dupa's House of Care is going to make sure that that's the last thing that you have to worry about.
Well, we're
Yeah.
certainly gonna be waiting for the scissor for the break so we can come
Yes.
and visit. Let us know. I'll be there. You know, I'll come home quick. So,
Yes.
since you didn't know, I'm from Fayetteville. I was born and raised there. So, I know the Fayetteville area. I told your mom, like, anytime she need me for anything, I'll get on the road. I ain't got no car right now. But when I do, I'll come home. It's a 6-hour drive for me. Well, it takes 5.5 hours because I have a left foot. But that's okay. And I'll make sure the next time I come home, I have you some ginger ale. You like Canada Dry? You like, what's the other one? What's it?
Canada Dry.
It's
Canada Dry all day.
Definitely Canada Dry.
All day. Canada Dry.
Canada Dry. That's right, baby. That's right.
Yep.
Somebody in the car, Miss Marla. Hey, Marla. She said there's a place in Columbus, Ohio called the Hope Lodge that lets the patient stay there with their family to make sure that the patient is okay if they need anything, and they were awesome.
That's great.
And I'm glad that y'all are doing something, especially if they don't have one there.
Right. They don't have one. I've done my market research and we do not have one here in North Carolina, which is why I'm so gung ho about getting it done before somebody else steals my
Right.
idea. So
Right.
yeah.
And it'll get done, and you know, we here at the No Shoez Podcast to spread that word and we'll support you in any way possible.
Thank you.
And it's gonna be successful. I know
you.
that I'm speaking that into existence. You got your sisters here that are gonna be here to support y'all as well. Your new
Thank
auntie, Desi, will
Thank
be here to
you.
support you.
Thank
So
you.
Yeah.
you're welcome. And thank you, ladies, again for coming on the No Shoez Podcast to tell your story. I truly do appreciate it. I'm humbled that you all, you know, chose again my platform to tell your story.
No
And
problem.
don't stop here. Don't let this be the only stop you made to tell your testimony, because you're a living testimony now.
Yes,
So
you are.
make sure you do that. And to my viewers, thank you for the support and coming by and supporting Desi as well and listening to her journey. I'm sure that, just like I tell people, there's a lot of people walking around with our illness, with MS. There may be a lot of people that have kidney disease or have diabetes and have kidney issues and have to go through this as well. So to hear it from her, what she went through, everybody's journey is different, but you got to hear from her exactly what her journey looked like.
Right.
So just keep that in mind. And this video will be on my channel under the live. So if you want to ever go back and watch it, it will always be there.
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure you like, comment, and share. Leave some words of encouragement for Desi to keep her going. And be sure to subscribe to the No Shoez Podcast. And if y'all get any kind of social media going, let me know so I can spread the word for y'all as well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Desi, show your shirt. I'm showing mine. Show your shirt.
Oh, kid, that's right. You are a kidney warrior, honey. That's right. That is right. Y'all had that shirt made?
Yeah, we had them made. Mm-hmm.
I want one.
Yes,
Look,
ma'am. They were made.
You see how your mama do? I could have been wearing a shirt too tonight.
Oh.
Oh, don't do that. And
My sorority sister, one of my sorority sisters right here in town, made these for us. She made a whole bunch for us, and I appreciate her. I think she's on this call. I hope she is. I told her to be. I asked her to be, I should say. But
if
yeah,
she
it's,
let me,
and here's a little shout out to Latisse. That's where you get them on Facebook at Tilla Tees. to
I
the
have to check out.
seats.
I want me a shirt too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yes,
put myself
ma'am.
in the jelly crew so I can get me one. I'm jelly.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Yes,
so much for having us. I appreciate it, sis. Thank you
you.
so much for having
No,
us.
oh, it's no problem. Thank you for
All
even
right.
bringing this to my attention because I knew about it because of my uncle, but and I took him passing hard because we were close, but we had gotten really close through our illnesses, and we talked every Friday. And that last Friday, I didn't talk to him again. He went to the hospital. He never came back home.
Oh
And
man.
he was supposed to go to dialysis. He went to dialysis every Saturday. He was supposed to go to dialysis that Saturday. He never made it there.
Oh man. I'm
But
sorry.
it's okay. But you know
Wow.
what? I'm sure he's up in heaven smiling down on you too, Desi, that you got the chance he did.
Yeah,
So it's still,
definitely.
something good that came out of it. And
Yeah.
these are the type of stories that I want to be able to tell on this platform because we have a lot of negative things that go on social media. I just want to be able to bring us back to some positive things that's going on with all the negative things that we have
Yeah.
going on right now.
That's true.
So I
True.
thank you ladies again, and to all my viewers again, thank you. I can't thank you guys enough. And if you like what you're seeing on this podcast, donate to the No Shoez Podcast. My Cash App is down there scrolling at the bottom. It's at $ the NS Podcast. No donation is too small. Listen, all you got to give it 50 cents, I'll take it. So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not greedy at all. Every little bit helps. So thank you guys for your time and watching today. And Desi, keep me updated when I come home again. I have some Canada Dry, baby.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
Have a
you,
good
and y'all have a good one.
All
good
right.
night,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, Desi.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie. Tell your mama to give me my number if you need to talk or anything. You can call me.
Okay, I sure will.
All right. I'll talk to
All
you
right. See
soon.
you later.
All right.
My butt hurt. Did you watch them?
Yes, I watched some of it, heard most of it.
Mm.
Right there, click the top.
Mm-hmm. The top pullback?
The top bars, close them out.
Oh, close them out.